No! No, I belong!
Holy shit! You come into my house on the day of my daughter's wedding and ask me to do a murder for money. That's right, guys. We are doing The Godfather. I have not seen The Godfather. Um, to a little bit of my surprise, but kind of no surprise too. It is set in. It was made in not set in. It was made in the 70s, 1972, by Francis Ford Coppola. Um, I've heard that name before, and that must mean this is where uh, he gained um, recognition for um, doing the Godfather films. I know that it's a trilogy. Um, I thought there were only two parts of it, but there's actually three parts. Hence the trilogy. Um, but there's not much I know about this film. I know it has to do with the mafia, I think, but I can't tell you exactly what's gonna happen. I know a few famous characters in this. Um, can't say their their names. Can't say their last names very well, but one of them's name is John. I think there's a guy named Tommy or something, but I could be completely off. There's not a lot that I know about this film. Excuse me. Um, but I'm kind of excited to jump into this. I know it is a rather long one than I typically do. About 2 hours and 30 minutes. So we'll see how I cut that down. I think that this is going to be a good film. I think it's going to be more um, philosophical than probably any of the other ones that we've watched on this channel more than um, so far that we've watched on this channel. Um, so I'm really excited to get into it. I like movies that make you think about just kind of way um, just kind of makes you think about you know the world and how it works and that type of stuff. I could be completely wrong, guys. Again, I have not seen The Godfather, so this will be a first time reaction. So I could be completely off base here, and you guys will have to tell me that down in the comments when it comes to this part of the video. But I do not know nothing, so I do have an offer that you can't refuse, and the offer is this. If you guys do enjoy the video and my reaction to The Godfather, do consider subscribing and liking the video and sharing this video out with your friends, family, and help me actually grow this channel because we are a growing channel, and it does um, it does I want to say it does my heart good to know that people do like this type of content and the content that I produce. And the more views and comments and stuff, especially uh, for you recent commenters, it actually gets me the um, um, it actually gives me motivation to keep doing this for you guys, and you don't know how much that actually means to me. So if you guys would just help me grow the channel, and all, all you have to really do is watch the video till the end if you would, like, and then comment as well. And I do respond to comments when I do get them, and I do like you know interesting questions being asked about the movie and what you guys overall think about the movie. But with all that preamble out of the way, let's actually get into the movie now. Sound of the trumpets are a little bit eerie, but I kind of like it too. It's kind of odd.
You said you come into my house on the day my daughter's to be married, and you asked me to do murder. Money.
I ask you for justice.
Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me.
That's another famous line too.
This man out there, he won't give it to me. The head of the studio.
What's his name?
Waltz. Waltz. Oh, Godfather, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
You spend time with your family?
Sure I do.
Good. Because a man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Johnny Fontaine will never get that movie.
They are $600,000 on 4 hooks. I'll bet Russian Tsars never paid that kind of dough for a single horse.
Johnny Fontaine ruined one of Waltz International's most valuable proteges. And she runs on. And a man in my position can't afford to be made to look ridiculous.
For some time, I had nothing really to say because I didn't know what I was looking at or getting into as far as what's going on, because these characters are so new, and they introduced them during the wedding kind of sporadically that for right now I'm having a hard time keeping track of who's who and what's being done to whom and why exactly they're doing it. This guy's gonna get killed. Oh, there's blood on the sheets. One of his horses. That I was unexpecting.
Huh? There's a lot of notes here.
He's known as a top narcotics man.
What's your answer going to be, Pop?
What you want to do?
I must say no to you. Go to the Tatalias and make them think that you're not too happy with our family.
Questi soldi sono buoni. $50,000.
Although the guy doesn't know that it's a setup. He does. Just sinking to the other guy's back. That is actually terrifying. That's more terrifying than seeing him fall all the way to the floor.
He's still alive. They hit him with 5 shots and he's still alive.
What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here now.
That actually scared me. That made me jump.
Men are coming here to kill him. You understand?
I can't believe that she agreed to moving him. In my experience, they don't ever move patients once they've been placed.
Said take him in.
On what charges?
Take a hold of him. Stand him up. Stand him up straight.
I thought it was gonna be the gut, honestly.
Wait a minute. I'm talking about a cop that's mixed up in drugs. I'm talking about a dishonest cop, a crooked cop who got mixed up in the rackets and got what was coming to him.
This really just got good for some reason. I really am enjoying this now that the story's picked up a little bit. Or the plot, I should say. The more and more I think about this, the more and more I want to say that the movie is set in the 1940s or 1930s. And what really tips me off to that is the fedora and the phone and the dresses. It could also be 1940s. Definitely got that noir feel to the movie.
Try the veal. It's the best in the city. I'll have it.
Is that where that line comes from? Try the veal.
I have to go to the bathroom.
They didn't place it. Or did they? They did.
Michael, who killed Sollozzo.
We do the things that we do, people that we love. I will say that this movie has some beautiful landscape shots and just scenery.
E che sei rimasto colpito da un fulmine. Che se teneva un vestito magari color prugna. E magari un fiocco in testa color prugna.
Un fiocco in testa prugna.
Poteva essere una bellezza magari più greca che italiana. Che te sua figlia.
My name is Michael Corleone. There are people who pay a lot of money for that information.
But then your daughter would lose a father.
Instead of gaining a husband.
Prego, I do know. You know means good, I think. I'm pretty sure it means good. You think the family members of these mafia gangs buy bulletproof cars and all that stuff?
They shot Sonny on the causeway. He's dead.
I want you to arrange a meeting with the heads of the 5 families.
No! No, I belong!
Holy shit!
We are all grateful to Don Corleone for calling this meeting. We all know him as a man of his word.
He had all the judges and politicians in his pocket.
When did I ever refuse an accommodation? Except one time. I believe this drug business is going to destroy us in the years to come.
The traffic in drugs will be permitted, but controlled. And Don Corleone will give her protection in the East, and there will be the peace.
Let me say that I swear that I will not be the one to break the peace we've made here today.
I'm working for my father now, Kate. I came here because I need you. Because I care for you.
Please stop it, Michael.
Because I want you to marry me.
Don Corleone, you once said that the day would come when Tessio and me could form our own family. I must ask your permission.
Well, Michael is now head of the family, and if he gives his permission, then you have my blessing.
After we make the move to Nevada, the Corleone family is thinking of giving up all its interest in the olive oil business, settling out here. Now, Mo Green will sell us his share of the casino and the hotel.
The Corleone family wants to buy me out. No, I buy you out. You don't buy me out.
Your casino loses money. Maybe we can do better. I leave for New York tomorrow. Think about a price.
Don is semi-retired, and Mike is in charge of the family business now. Have anything to say it to Michael.
Connie and Carla want you to be godfather to their little boy.
Barzini will move against you first. He'll set up a meeting with someone that you absolutely trust, guaranteeing your safety. And at that meeting, you'll be assassinated.
The father is teaching the son the family business, so to speak, and how to think and how to basically run the family business and how to get yourself out of situations like this.
Now listen, whoever comes to you with this Barzini meeting, he's a traitor. Don't forget that.
Yeah. He's dead. He's so young he doesn't know what's going on.
But I'm gonna wait. After the baptism. I've decided to be godfather to Connie's baby.
At least he has a game plan. But will it work out? That is the question.
Rabias vitam aeternam. Amen.
That was an awesome shot. The putting on the glasses and then being shot in the eye through the glasses. That was awesome. Kind of feel bad for the woman there.
In nomine Patris, go in peace, and may the Lord be with you. Amen.
So Michael took out the head of the families.
You have to answer for Santino, Carlo. Fingered Sonny for the Barzini people. Today I settle all family business, so don't tell me you're innocent, Carlo. Admit what you did. Come on, you think I make my sister a widow? I'm godfather to your son, Carlo.
Probably not by his hand, but maybe by...
The business, that's your punishment.
Okay, so no.
I'm putting you on a plane to Vegas.
Or is he going to have somebody kill him in Vegas?
Now, who approached you? Tattaglia or Barzini?
Really like the uses of shadow in this.
Barzini.
Again, it comes back to lighting. I'm a big lighting guy. I was right, he got strangled to death. This is a unique angle, though.
You killed my husband. You blamed him for Sonny. You always did. Everybody did. And you stood godfather to our baby.
Is it true? Don't ask me about my business.
No.
This one time, I'll let you ask me about my affairs.
Why would you make that proposal? He knows the truth. You can see it in his eyes. And she knows it just by the look in her eyes.
I guess we both need a drink,
Alright guys, that was The Godfather. It was actually very interesting. There were some twists and turns that I did not see coming. In fact, car explosion, because that totally caught me off guard. Very well acted. For me, because I struggle with this, and I know I do, is keeping track of characters for the very first time when I watch something. If there's like too many characters going on and they kind of look similar, I have that that issue. I thought Michael wouldn't become the new Don. I thought we would still have the original Don. I forget the guy's name, but the guy that they started the movie, and to have all the family members, the head of the families, killed. I didn't think they were actually gonna do it. I thought something was actually gonna happen to Michael before he executed that plan, and he actually executed it during the baptism. Is another thing. I knew that Michael would kill his brother-in-law, but I didn't think that it would have been. I thought he would have waited until the brother-in-law got to L.A. Not right there in the car, and honestly, when I watched that scene, it seems kind of hard to watch a little bit. Not too hard, but a little bit. Just because I've seen people die that way from other, TV shows and movies, and it's not a pretty way to go. What I really liked is we didn't actually focus in on that. We kept the camera still, and we focused on his feet breaking the glass, and that's very interesting. And I really do like that choice. I think that was an artistic choice to basically censor the amount of violence in this movie, because it took it a while to get going with the for the main story to get going and all that stuff. And I usually like shows like that where it's a slow burn to get from A to B. But even at a certain point, I was like, I want to see some mafia stuff, and I want to see some, you know, shootouts or violence or something. But you need to give our Castillo family, Castillo, um, Castillo. I have trouble saying the last name of the family, Castillo. Um, so you have to forgive me for that. Castellano, something like that. Um, I don't know why it's hard for me to do that, but it is. So we left. Michael had quite the arc, um, essentially, and I actually didn't really do like it. Basically, the plot centers around the current head of the house and Michael. Um, so as far as I understand it, um, the head of the house got shot, which is the Don. Um, and then Michael, in return, uh, killed the person that tried to kill his father. And so Michael had to basically go live in Italy for a year. Um, then he came back and essentially took over the family business, um, but not before killing the other five or four heads of the houses um, because of the original uh, argument about not wanting to sell drugs in he, basically the original Don didn't want anything to do with drugs, and Michael kind of upheld that end of the bargain. Now there's another son. I forget his name at the moment. And he had kind of a little smaller role, in my opinion, than Michael did. At the beginning, it seemed like the other son was going to have a bigger role than what Michael had, but no, um, that didn't seem to be the case, and he basically died outside of some country or trying to get into, somewhere. Basically, stopped at like a toll booth or something. Was shot to death. It reminds me of how Bonnie and Clyde died. So I wonder where it's gonna go next. Um, People say that the part two of The Godfather is really good. Like the second movie is really good. It's like Rocky 2. Like it has a pretty good sequel. Usually sequels suck, but not The Godfather apparently. And Rocky, Rocky 2. People seem to really like Rocky 2. Like those two aren't a bad sequel. Usually sequels are bad, but those two in particular, people say are usually not that bad, or they're better than the original. There you go. That they're usually that it's actually better than the original. We spent a lot of time just hanging on shots that I felt some were necessary and others not so much, and could have easily kept this film down even more if they wanted to. But you know, how often do you come across a 3 hour movie or a 4 hour movie? Not that often. Because of those shots that weren't needed to me, the movie just dragged out longer than it needed to. And, I started to kind of get antsy, wanting to get back to the action or the sentimental parts or reasons why they're doing what they're doing, because that sounds kind of bad or kind of impatient. And by the way, I don't mean to sound impatient or anything. It's just don't I just don't really care about how beautiful a shot is if it doesn't add something to the story, um, in kind of in an important way, or if I don't, pick up on something. And those shots may be important, but to me, I really didn't see things like, um, for example, the wedding at the beginning. Some of those scenes are necessary, but then you just have scenes where they're dancing, singing, and nothing else is going on. And I'm like, why are we still, why are we still lingering on this? And that's part of the stuff that I could get. Don't get me wrong, it's good, and music's good, people are having fun, and that sort of thing. But nothing plot wise or story wise is going on. We're just enjoying this singing and dancing and stuff while it's interlaced in between the important bits that we need. And I think that was part of the confusion. But yeah, guys, that's my overall thoughts on the film. Um, Makes me wonder what they're gonna do next since they killed all the head of the family members, and it seems like he's gonna uphold his father's values, not introducing the drug trade into it. I wonder what other where they can go since they got rid of the primary reason of why you would kill the head of the five families. That way you could be in charge of the drug trade. I get that if that was going to be the case, but that's not the case. So you guys probably already know that reason is, or they gave a reason in the second movie, which I don't have information to yet. And I'm kind of looking forward to the second one, and kind of on the fence about it because on the one hand, I do want to see what happens. On the other side of things, I kind of want to see it and kind of don't want to see it at the same time. So let me know if you guys have kind of this wish-washy feeling after immediately watching the first one. I'm not I don't have that reaction. My thoughts and my opinion on Godfather, there's always more to talk about before and after I edit these. After I edit these, because I always have more to say after I edit. And that's kind of true of everything, but you can't always get that on video. Because that usually when I say that, it happens during the editing process where I realize something that I missed that I really wanted to talk about in the original video. But anyway, guys, I've rambled long enough. I've kept you for long enough. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are about The Godfather. What do you guys think about my opinion of The Godfather? And how importantly you think that my views will change over time the more and more I see this? Because I guarantee you that they will. That's the other thing I want to talk about too, real quick, is why is this movie so popular? Um, and I can't quite put my finger on exactly why it's considered um, a classic or iconic or any of those things. So if you guys could help me out in that realm, I would really appreciate some of that stuff down below. Editing Mike here. So there is one thing I wanted to mention that I didn't mention in the outro, and that is uh, the intro to this video. I thought the scene was the Don. I thought he had his chair turned away from the camera, and so that's why in the intro, my chair is turned away from the camera because I thought that's how the scene was played out. I thought he wasn't facing the guy, but he actually was. So that's why that's in that intro. I just wanted to mention that in case you guys were confused why I did the intro that way. Do like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you guys.